They were happy in the Oklahoma live stream that we do each and every Wednesday, just prior to this one, to report that USA Today has, in their words, named Oklahoma as the greatest program in college football history. Well, I did a few Google searches, and it was more of just a metrics review of the AP poll since 1936. USA Today, or the College Football News, CFN, was not claiming that Oklahoma is the greatest program in history, but they were doing a review of points, and they went through a point system of adding the AP poll from 1936 through the just completed season, and that Oklahoma has more points than anybody else. Alabama's number 2, Ohio State's number 3. Do you guys care?
Can't argue with that. I mean, that's the AP. That's not opinion. That's science. That's fact from a bunch of people who do science and fact rather than opinion. So, and that's almost 100 years of it. So, congratulations to Oklahoma. Do you get a banner for that? Is there a banner? Is there a trophy? Some rings? Something like that?
Yeah, it's like 85 years worth of data. So, good for them. It's just one thing. I mean, there's, Notre Dame claims like 17 national championships or whatever. And, so again, Ohio State, some places it's 8, some places it's 6. So, everybody has their view of history, I guess. I think if you're mentioned in a survey like that in the top 5 or 10, I think that's where you look at it and you say, yeah, we are one of the legitimate best, most enduring programs in college athletics, in college football. And so I don't have a big thought one way or the other, rank them however you want, but it depends on your criteria. There's other criteria. Ohio State would be 1 and Oklahoma would be 5, or whatever. So I know all-time wins, Michigan's 1 and Ohio State's 2, I believe, right now. And all-time winning percentage, I think Ohio State's 1. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. So whatever.
I'm a winning percentage guy, because to me, there are only 2 components of all this that could be measured that are objective. And maybe somebody else can throw one at me that I'm not thinking of. 1 would be winning percentage. 2 would be conference championships. Winning a conference championship, it's objective. You may not like the schedule, but the conference championship's objective. Other than that, there are subjective factors that come into everything, including national championships, of course. So, Tony, what would your criteria if somebody gave you the project? You get to determine the greatest football programs of all time. How would you weight it? What would you consider?
I think winning percentage is up there, and then who are you winning against? Throw in some computer programming where who has the most. What's your winning percentage against teams over 500? That sort of thing, where it's not just winning percentage. And then maybe what you do is you do like the 25 best winning percentages, and then your winning percentage against those programs like boost up your score as well. I do want to say one last thing on the AP though. We should show the AP polls much more respect. Show them as much respect as the Florida basketball program did. I saw they have a banner, not a Final Four banner, but a ranked number 4 banner after the canceled season of 2020, where they ranked a banner because they finished 4th in the AP poll, which is basically like a Final Four banner. So I just wanted to throw that in about the AP there. But yeah, winning percentage, and then who's beating the best teams, I think is also, and by best, I guess that means the winningest.
I went to Wikipedia. You never know where their numbers are because they do make 8 games in NC2A.
Something happened to your mic, Kevin.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you okay. It just seems like you're 1,000 miles away for some reason.
Hold on.
That's better.
Switching mics. All right.
There we go.
So I'm on Wikipedia. They dropped off the 2010 season, but Ohio State 731 win percentage. Oklahoma 6 with 728. All-time wins, they have Ohio State at 942, which is 3rd in the nation. Oklahoma's got 928, which is 5th. But if we're going to talk about the AP poll, Ohio State's is number one in the AP poll, 949 weeks, whereas Oklahoma is third with 876 weeks in the AP poll. And to me, I think that what also makes a program is just the moving players on to the next level. Ohio State has had 473 NFL draft picks, good for third. Oklahoma's fourth, but has 71 fewer draft picks at 402. So,
And how many first rounders?
Ohio State is credited with 85. Oklahoma is credited with 49.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's had more first rounders than anybody all time, I think.
They were battling with USC for a while.
Yeah,
Alabama's probably on their heels.
Yeah,
Right.
they moved right on by USC. So,
and if you're somebody who gets into how many weeks at AP number one, Ohio State holds the edge there too. Ohio State's second with 105. Oklahoma is third with 101. So
yeah, that was my overarching.
I guess Oklahoma maybe has more weeks at number 17 in the poll or something, and that carries more weight or something ridiculous like that. But
Those Steve Belisari years weighed down the Buckeyes.
But yeah, the only three categories here of the 12 that they have listed that Oklahoma is ahead of Ohio State is conference championships, where Oklahoma between the Big 8 and the Big 12 has 50. Oklahoma has two more bowl wins than Ohio State does. And Oklahoma's bowl record is significantly better than Ohio State's, 57.3 for Oklahoma, 49.1 for Ohio State.
When it
I
comes
think
to
you also
bowl
have to measure them by the last time they played in Norman.
And the size of the hail that trip, that was one of the worst storms I've ever driven through.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Not necessarily the last time they played, because I was expecting the same outcome as the year before, and we didn't get it. But that's what I was expecting, that's for sure. I was a bit surprised that night. The other thing I'll add about the bowl record, and this does not apply to Oklahoma because they're playing the same caliber opponents generally as Ohio State, but my goodness, ever since Jim Tressel, especially later Cooper years onto Jim Tressel's years, the bowl opponents for Ohio State, the postseason opponents, are just ridiculous, of course. So you know, sometimes you'll see bowl records and you'll see Ole Miss wins 65% of its bowl game. Well, they're playing in the Liberty and the Independence Bowl. So, you know, they're playing, you know, Louisiana Tech and Memphis in bowl games. So let's understand who you're playing. To Tony's point about even regular season record.
Well, and so many of those bowl games were from the 60s and 70s against the top teams in the nation out west. Like USC and UCLA were so much better then in terms of the national picture than they were any other time other than Pete Carroll's tenure there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I got scolded by David for bringing up Steve Belisari. Sorry about that.